the tree has sort of followed me through my career. 20 plus years I've been interacting with this tree, and my career has spanned, the globe, and yet I still just keep coming back to take care of this tree. I was first introduced to this tree when I was in my mid-teens, when I was just getting into the industry. And I first had the opportunity to work on this tree a couple years prior to me starting my own company. Let me introduce you to the Fairfield Heritage Poplar. This is one of the oldest trees in Alberta. It is one of the largest cottonwoods of its kind in Alberta. It does have heritage tree status. Any arborists that are going to work on it, the work needs to be supervised by an ISA certified arborist, and the tree needs to only have things done to it that will help preserve and conserve the tree. I mean, it's a huge tree. It's well over 100 feet tall. It's well over 150 feet wide. A tree like this needs a really light touch, which can be challenging in a tree this size. My team and I are here today removing dead wood, carrying out just a little bit of structural pruning. This will be my 4th time climbing it in my career. Later on in the day, we might put my dad up, and I plan on taking both of my sons up. So that's going to be quite a bit of fun. In 2015, the company that I started with my dad in 2007 needed to split. My operations became global because of my sponsorships and some of the other things that I was pursuing. I just kind of ended up doing my job all over the world. Korthuis Tree Care still runs and operates today, but I wanted to start something new and fresh from the ground up. So I started Saha, Southern Alberta High Angle. The team is 9 strong. There's 6 of us in the field full time, and we don't just deal in arboriculture. We are all SPRAT, rope access technicians. We have one member of the team who was captain of the mine rescue team. Another one is like an elite level alpinist and guide. Because of the blending of all of our knowledge and experience and passions, we come together into this team that isn't just limited to arboriculture. So we work in, industry and on structure. We dabble in rescue and rope access and emergency response as well. It was pretty cool to have my dad in the tree. We call him Whiskey, but old John, he's been doing trees as long as I have. My father was the one that actually got me into the industry, and when he started to see what the job entailed, he called me right away and said, "John boy, you got to come and have a look at this, because what a cool job this is, and it's totally tailored for you." And I'm glad that I listened. My dad's 67, and he doesn't climb trees, but because of the motorized descender that I came up with, we were able to get him to the top of the tree, and I think that was pretty special for him. Stephanie, my wife, came up too. That's her 2nd time in the tree, and although she's not like a production arborist, she's climbed many trees and she's come to work with me as well. So having her be able to come up in the tree and see what we're doing, I think it gives her a glimpse into what I'm out there doing all over the world as well. So what was interesting about taking Sear up to 100 plus feet in the tree is that once I got him comfy on my lap, I think for him it just felt like another day with Dad, because we do all sorts of stuff. We go to the mountains and we rappel and things like that. He's such a rad little kid. He just held on and watched the winch do its thing and looked up at the rope and checked in with me and then looked down at Mom, and before you know it, we were up there and he's waving at the camera and giving me knuckles. It was totally rad. I'll remember it forever. My parenting style is unique, I'll tell you that right now. My whole approach to the world is what I'm trying to impart on my kids, because it's worked out pretty well for me. I have a really fun life, and that's kind of what I want for my kids, is I want them to have a fun, engaged, exciting experience. There is nowhere on the planet that you can't be exploring and comfortable in and, expressing your art within. There's a quote, and the quote goes, "We all stand on the shoulders of giants." And I think that we as arborists need to really come to the realization that the fact that we have an industry and we get to have the fun that we do with our job is because generations before us planted a bunch of trees and took care of those trees. I wouldn't have a career if there wasn't generations of arborists that have come before me that have done a good job with planting and pruning and preserving trees. Arboriculture is supposed to be about, the balance between the needs of trees and people. My company specifically, we've taken a really concerted focus in trying to not just optimize our operations for elite level tree removal and rigging, but also to move into tree preservation, conservation, plant healthcare, and planting. I want to show people how cool it is when you can, like in this case, climb a tree for the 4th time in the 4th pruning cycle of my career. We really have become stewards of the urban forest. And of course, tree removal is a part of that, but we are putting a ton of effort in trying to foster an interest in planting trees and preserving the urban forest as well. We need to lead the way, so we are.